Hello, it's Jim Hutchins for the Jerusalem Connection Spot Report for this 13th day of March, 2017. Let me say to you, Chag Sameach, or Happy Purim. We who live outside of Israel have 2 days to celebrate Purim. And of course, this is the day when we remember how Queen Esther, along with her uncle Mordecai, came against the anti-Semitism of Haman and actually saved the Jewish people at that time. She was the heroine who stepped forward in such a time as this, as the scripture says in the book of Esther. It's interesting that the name of God is never mentioned in the book of Esther, and yet there is the behind-the-scenes obvious protective hand of God over Esther, her uncle, the Jews of Persia at that time. They were saved, and it was Yahweh who did it. And I think that we need to recognize that the same anti-Semitism that was advocated by Haman is very present today. This is what he said, actually. In Esther chapter 3, verse 8, it says, Haman said to King Xerxes, there's a certain people dispersed and scattered among the peoples in all the provinces of your kingdom, certain people throughout the kingdom, whose customs are different from those of all other people. Their customs are different. And who do not obey the king's laws. It is not in the king's best interest to tolerate them. If it pleases the king, let a decree be issued to destroy them. Now that's been the goal of the anti-Semite ever since, whether it's throughout history, culminating in the Holocaust, but prevalent today. I should tell you, if you're not aware of it, that anti-Semitism is in the DNA of Islam, wherever they are. Jews are to be killed. They're the infidels. But it's pandemic likewise in Europe, anti-Semitism is. And the politically correct way to voice anti-Semitism today is to say I'm anti-Zionist or anti-Israel. But that identifies the anti-Semite. And that same kind of anti-Semitism is pervasive. It's metastasized to the secular university and colleges of the United States. It will continue. Sadly, it will continue. It will grow. And the best friends that the Jews have, Israelis have, are the Christian Zionists, who take the scriptures seriously and take the covenant promises of God regarding a promised land for the Jews. Take that seriously. We believe it. And we support Israel and the Jewish people on the basis of that. But we'll be few and far between because we'll be suffering right along with the Jews. The scriptures indicate that. But there is end in sight. The scriptures indicate that when Messiah comes, we believe that's the return of Jesus. Romans chapter 11 tells us what that will be like, especially in verse 25. The apostle says, I do not want you to be ignorant. Don't be ignorant of this mystery, brothers, so that you may not be conceited. Don't be ignorant. Don't be conceited. Israel, and that is biological national Israel, has been hardened spiritually, has been hardened in part, not totally, but in part spiritually, until the full number of Gentiles has come in. And so all Israel will be saved. All the Israel of God will be saved. That includes Jew and Gentile alike. That's an exciting day. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to experience it. But until then, we need to pray. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem and pray for the Jews, the Israelis, that they will hear the gospel and that they will do what the Messiah said. They will confess that he is Yahweh. They will say, Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh. Blessed is he who comes in the name and the power and the glory of Yahweh. Till next week, Od Kievo Shiloh, or until Messiah comes, Yivareka Yahweh. Yahweh bless you, bless those you love, bless those who love you.